In the world of combat sports, this is the Mecca, Madison Square Garden. Today, World Series of Fighting New York City takes center stage. Justin Gaethje puts his perfect 16-0 record on the line and his lightweight belt. John Fitch, the 38-year-old champion in the welterweight division, has his hands full with Jake Shields. And Marlon Moraes also puts his belt on the line on the last day of 2016 in the bantamweight division. The World Series of Fighting takes center stage at the world's most famous arena. Today, 3 champions put their belts on the line.
High kick by Moraes, and he's still the champ. Back spinning elbow from John Fitch. Oh, he's down. Gaethje shuts it down. Still your champion.
This is not just another defense. This is the only thing that matters in my life right now.
That's it. This one is over.
3 title fights will help ring in the new year. It's the World Series of Fighting on NBC, and it's next. And a happy new year to you all as we get ready to ring in 2017. No better way and no better place than the theater at Madison Square Garden. Hello everyone, I'm Todd Harris. We have got 3 title fights for you today leading up to the main event. And that comes to you by way of the lightweight division and Justin Gaethje, a perfect 16-0, taking on Luis Firmino. The co-main event, 2 veterans of the sport, absolute warriors in John Fitch, the champion, and his challenger, the #1 ranked Jake Shields. But we start things off in the bantamweight division. One of the most explosive fighters in all of MMA, Marlon Moraes, puts his belt on the line against Jose Naldo Silva. It's a Brazil-on-Brazil matchup to start things off as we take a look at the tail of the tape. Certainly a size advantage and a reach advantage to Silva, but he'll have to get it done inside the cage as we send it inside to Jazz Securo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year and welcome to WSOF NYC. We are live in the most famous arena in the world, Madison Square Garden. We'd like to thank all our fans that are watching live, the millions joining us on NBC. This fight is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. We are scheduled for 5 rounds for the World Series of Fighting Bantamweight Championship of the World. And now introducing first your challenger, fighting out of the blue corner of the Decagon. His record, 25 victories, 4 defeats. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He weighs 134.5 pounds. Fighting out of Manaus, Brazil, he is currently ranked #1 in the division. Introducing Naldo Silva. And now, across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, his record, 17 wins, 4 defeats, 1 draw, standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing 135 pounds, fighting out of Toms River, New Jersey, by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He is one of the most feared bantamweights on the planet, the undisputed, reigning, defending World Series of Fighting bantamweight champion of the world, Marlon Moraes. Your referee is Big Dan Miragliotta.
Here we go.
And the rules for World Series of Fighting go like this. No knees to the head of a grounded opponent. 10-point must system is in effect, and it's based on aggression and cage control. With Big Dan Miragliotta in control of the action as we get set. Glad to have MMA royalty at my side. Boss Ruben, Renzo Gracie, and Joey Varner. And gentlemen, this is one of those don't blink because you certainly could miss something. Both of these guys lightning fast.
Oh, it's all about the footwork here for Moraes. Can he overcome that reach advantage also? Because it's like, that's a lot of inches right there. It's almost 10 inches.
Marlon Moraes, the champion in the yellow trunks. His opponent, Naldo Silva, in the black and white trunks. Comes to us by way of Manaus, Brazil. And a fighter that really kind of sprang up on the younger circuits. And he gets to this level, Renzo, and people look at his record, 25-4 with 15 KOs. That will get your attention.
Definitely, definitely. One thing that it's amazing is how this lightweight guys can hit so hard.
Yep, that's the thing, yeah.
It's the speed, and I've seen Marlon kicking people and make them slide across the mat.
Yeah, people have no clue. They always just say, with the, you know, if you go to the 125-pound weight class, people go like, yeah, they don't hit high. I said, they will clean out a bar.
Definitely. And I thought that was a beautiful overhead right, yeah.
Marlon Moraes just rang in 2017 in the side jaw of Silva. One of the hardest hitters in any weight class. Marlon Moraes, pound for pound, Renzo, maybe one of the best fighters in all of MMA.
I believe in the world. He's one of the most amazing fighters. His ability, I've seen him fighting. Look how precise his hands and his kicks and his calmness. You know, and you have to understand, he's fighting a very tough opponent right now.
You see Jose Naldo Silva in the black trunks. He keeps switching his stance. Goes top shelf on Moraes.
Moraes switching stances the whole time.
And what is the effect of that, boss? What does that do to your opponent?
It's real. And look at him connecting again. He's finding his
he's in trouble. Naldo's in trouble. As Silva tries to cover up, and Marlon Moraes looks for the first-round finish. Dan Miragliotta looking on. He goes momentarily for the submission, and the hammer fist may do the trick.
And he did a very smart thing. He was actually locking his hand and hammer fisting his jaw, looking for the knockout.
Going for a guillotine.
Jose Naldo Silva is in a world of hurt here in New York City.
It's amazing, the technique. And beautiful, beautiful defense work from his opponent. Marlon has a good night tonight.
And Silva comes back with a beautiful combination. And hold on here.
Fight is over.
Something happened.
Silva may have suffered a serious injury to his right knee. As he went up, that is it. Marlon Moraes will take the victory as Silva basically tapped himself out.
Wow.
Very well-deserved victory. What an intense round. What an intense round.
And I love it when he attacks and he goes those combinations. His defense is constantly up. It's like really solid. He looks great at everything what he does.
Meanwhile, the doctor attending to Naldo Silva immediately went to that right knee, tried to straighten it out, and Silva stopped him. And he said, it's definitely the knee. So Silva went airborne on Marlon Moraes, boss, and as he came down, something happened. But Marlon had him. It looked like he was going to end the fight there early. Wow. Remember we said about don't blink on this one?
Yeah, you were absolutely right. This was like 2 minutes, 45 seconds or something, I guess.
Marlon Moraes now runs his record to 18-4. As we look at it one more time, we'll take it back to the initial knockdown. And Marlon catches him with this big looping boom right on the button.
Wow, it's so nice. Great control, climb on top, great power. Everything is hard. Look at the power.
Look how he went when he passes the guard. Now he controls the hand, trying to hit the jaw with the hammer fist again. Look.
Yeah, he's got the other hand away.
Yeah, his hand is out of the way. Lock it. Extremely smart attack. A lot of intensity. Amazing that he wasn't able to finish that.
Yeah, it was. You know, it needed just one full hit. Look at this.
That shows the quality of his opponent. These Brazilians are getting better and better.
You saw right there when he came down and landed that right knee. And Marlon Moraes, impressive. Renzo, it's just, I guess, the pace that Marlon can work at. If you want to stand and have a nice slow bout, he's happy to do that with you. But, boss, he came out and absolutely furied on Silva.
It was just amazing. It was just amazing. Everything he threw was on the money. It was beautiful. Everything was clear on. Spot on. Great defense. He's got it all.
He could have gone either way.
And still champion, Marlon Moraes. Sunday night is football night. We will be in Detroit as Aaron Rodgers and the Packers take on Matthew Stafford and the Lions for the NFC North title. On Sunday Night Football, Dan Patrick and Mike Tirico host Football Night in America, only on NBC. Beautiful New Year's Eve in New York City, back inside the theater at Madison Square Garden at the conclusion of the first fight of the night in the bantamweight title. Marlon Moraes holding on to that belt after a flurry and a great exchange with Jose Naldo Silva, who suffers an injury to his knee, goes down, in effect, takes himself out of the fight. For the official word, we send it inside to Jazz Securo.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight ends with a tap out due to injury at 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the very first round. Your winner and still the World Series of Fighting Bantamweight Champion of the World, Marlon Moraes!
Marlon runs his record to 18-4, an emphatic victory. Gentlemen, let's take a look at highlights. Renzo, you knew he was going to come out fast.
He always brings intensity. He moves like he's in a different fuel, like in a special gasoline, you know? And he proved it. Look how slicky and how efficient he was with his attacks, always landing the overhand right. And you have to understand, his opponent is not smart. He's a tough guy,
yeah.
You know? And he proved it. That was a bad injury. He just passed by us here. He couldn't walk. They were carrying him.
You know, and he was explosive. I mean, the kicks that flew out to the head.
Definitely.
I mean,
and he was coming for the win.
Joey Varner is with the champion.
Marlon, congratulations. It was, I estimate, not the finish you wanted, but you got the finish. But can you clear up what happened? Because you hit him with the hard overhand right. He dropped, he got back to his feet, and then he fell again. And I'm kind of unsure exactly what happened.
First of all, I want to say Happy New Year's. Feliz Ano Novo, Brasil, Mãe, Friburgo. Happy New Year's for everybody here. You know, I wish everybody a blessed year. And my year starting now with a victory. I want to thank God. And let's go back to the fight. My opponent, it was a tough fight there, man. He was 25-5 or 4. He's undefeated like 6-7 years. And man, you saw, I hit guys, they go down, you know? I feel like I'm one of the best, if not the best, bantamweight in the world. And I can hang with the best, I can finish the best. And I think this is all matter. I can hang with any 35 in the world, any. Just put them in the cage, sign a contract with my name. I'm gonna show up, and I'm gonna show up ready.
Well, in your career with the World Series of Fighting, you have showcased that. Every single person that stood in front of you has fallen. You've dispatched them all. Is there a fighter out there that you feel poses a good challenge and that can bring out the best Marlon Moraes we've ever seen?
I'd say a lot of good guys, you know. In UFC, there's a lot of guys. I don't want to say any names, you know. I think I can fight with anybody. And I'm going to humble myself now a little bit, too. And don't matter who is there, I'm going to fight, you know. And I'm going to make Anderson França, Ricardo Almeida, Mark Henry, Frankie Edgar, my team, and my family in Brazil, and my family in New Jersey, Toms River, they're going to be proud of me. Winning or lose, they're going to be proud of me.
I think everyone here tonight is very proud of you. Congratulations once again on the victory.
Yeah, last I wanna thank the World Series of Fighting, you know, to make me do things in life that I never dreamed being fighting here. Now I'm in Madison Square Garden, I knock a guy out, and the belt is here, you know. Man, what I don't want anything, you know, nothing, you know. I don't know what to say. I'm very happy. That's it. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year, Marlon. Congratulations.
Life is good for the champion, Marlon Moraes, the bantamweight champion in the World Series of Fighting, looking so good, on point. Certainly had a great camp coming into this fight as he takes down Jose Naldo Silva by way of the tap. As you see him coming down on his right knee here, an awkward twist, and that was it. The tap coming in. Marlon Moraes again, his record 18-4. First of 3 title fights you'll see live here on NBC. Coming up, the champion, Jon Fitch, putting his welterweight belt on the line against fellow veteran and warrior Jake Shields, as Jake Shields goes through final preparations inside Madison Square Garden. We'll have all that when we return as we say Happy New Year. Jon Fitch, one of the craftiest fighters in the World Series of Fighting.
Back spinning elbow from Jon Fitch.
Jake Shields, he will make you pay. That's it, that is all.
Kayla Harrison trying to become the first American to win a gold medal in judo. Kayla Harrison just won the gold medal winner!
To be able to bring America home their first gold medal is amazing.
Came to Rio to leave a legacy.
Got the arms, got armbar!
And Kayla Harrison wins gold again!
From London to Rio to New York City, this young lady is not to be trifled with. The two-time Olympic gold medalist in judo, Kayla Harrison, joining us. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
It's good to have you as part of the World Series of Fighting. As you close the chapter, I'm assuming, on judo and now look to MMA?
Absolutely. I'm very honored and thrilled to be a part of such a great organization and showcase my skills not just on a mat, but in a cage.
Well, we got a chance to hear her and see her on NBCSN as she practiced her play-by-play commentary chops, and you were solid right there.
You like that? Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think you have skills, and I'm not just saying that. Not just saying that because you're going to beat me down. Let's talk about the world of MMA. Of course, last night, UFC 207 taking place in Las Vegas. Your good friend, Ronda Rousey, suffering her defeat.
Yeah.
You know her so well. She's a champion. How does she bounce back from something like that?
You know, I think psychologically she's got to do a lot of soul searching. She's got to really, you know, if you're going to be a fighter, your heart has to be in it. And I think she needs to decide if her head and her heart are in it. So, but I'm wishing her the best.
And that takes me to my next question. You are ending your career as a judo champion with 2 gold medals. What makes you want to get back into this cage now and go and do some work?
You know, I just think I have more to offer in my athletic career, but I've done everything I've wanted to do in judo. So now it's time for a new challenge.
And you're going to give us some breakdown of your vocal tones as well, watching some fights.
Oh yeah, I'm going to give it to you all, guys. You're going to love it.
She is a Renaissance woman, no question about it. She can do it all. We come back, a title fight is on the line. Jon Fitch, the champion, taking on Jake Shields when we return to Madison Square Garden. This presentation of WSOF NYC from the theater at Madison Square Garden in New York City is being brought to you by Alienware, the ultimate gaming experience. By Miller Lite, the original light beer. And by Grunt Style, this we will defend. No better place to be on New Year's Eve than the heart of Manhattan inside Madison Square Garden. This is the theater, and you are watching WSOF NYC live on NBC as we take a look at the tail of the tape for our title fight in the welterweight division. Jon Fitch is the champion, 38 years of age. He weighed in at 169.8 pounds, and he has a 74-inch reach. His opponent, Jake Shields, at 37, 6 feet as well, almost identical as weight and a 70-inch reach. We are all set to go. It's now time to send it to Jazz Securo for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is for the World Series of Fighting Welterweight Championship of the World. And now, here is your challenger. Please welcome Jake Shields.
Glad to be having Kayla Harrison and Bas Rutten cage side as we get ready to call this explosive fight. 31-8-1 is Jake Shields. Kayla, he comes in with 40 professional fights. So when you fight someone like this, is there anything he hasn't seen that you can throw at him that's like, maybe he hasn't seen that yet?
Nah, I'm expecting a very composed fighter. Out of both of these fighters, they're both veterans. They both know what they're doing, and it's going to be a really interesting matchup.
Bas, he comes by way of the UFC. He's fought at Strikeforce, Elite XC. He's been around a lot of great organizations. He seems to have found a home here at the World Series of Fighting, and what a way to ring in the new year, taking on Jon Fitch for the belt.
Yeah, Jon Fitch, well, he knows him from the UFC where he was as well, had an incredible win streak. So, yeah, we know the game plan here. Fitch is going to try to keep it on the feet, try to knock him out. He does not want to go to the ground with Jake Shields. Jake needs to do everything in his power to see if he can take it to the ground.
Certainly has patented many moves in American Jiu-Jitsu, as Jake Shields is very dangerous on the ground. He has wins over Dan Henderson, Carlos Condit, Campman, Okami. He has beaten some of the very best in the world of MMA, no matter what organization. But tonight, he is taking on the champ in Jon Fitch.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the World Series of Fighting Welterweight Champion of the World, Jon Fitch.
I just realized he doesn't have a nickname.
Neither one.
He doesn't need it.
That's true. He's got a belt.
Oh,
Like
Jody
the song,
can.
though.
Jon Fitch, if you've known him over his career, he is I don't say transformed his body, boss, but talking to him at the hotel the other day, he has hired this nutritionist who has really just changed the way he looks at food, the way he trains with the food and uses it to build the muscles back up. I don't think I've ever seen him look this fit before.
He looks really good. He looks really lean, and he told me that he'd worked really hard on his striking. He says, you watch, boss, you're going to see some crazy striking. So he's really going to go for the knockout. Look at him.
Wow.
Right. Never looked like that.
A 15-year fight career, 36 pro fights, 76 professional fights between these two men as they get set to do battle in Madison Square Garden on New Year's Eve with the welterweight belt on the line. We now send it back to Jeff Securo for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this championship fight is brought to you by Grunt Style. This we will defend. We're scheduled for 5 rounds for the World Series of Fighting Welterweight Championship of the World. Introducing first your challenger, fighting out of the blue corner. His record, 31 victories, 8 defeats, and 1 draw. Standing 6 feet tall, weighing 169 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of San Francisco, California, by way of Mountain Ranch, California. Currently ranked #1 in the division. Introducing Jake Shields. And now, across the decagon, fighting out of the red corner, his record, 28 victories, 7 defeats, 1 draw, standing 6 feet tall, weighing 170 pounds, fighting out of San Jose, California, by way of Fort Wayne, Indiana. He is the undisputed, reigning, defending World Series of Fighting welterweight champion of the world, Jon Fitch. Your referee is Todd Anderson.
Out we go. That's it, out.
So we are set to go inside the theater, Madison Square Garden on New Year's Eve. This for the welterweight belt. Jon Fitch will be in the black trunks. Jake Shields in the blue with the black trim.
You ready? You ready? Wait!
This one's scheduled for 5 rounds. Both of these guys are veterans, Kayla and Boss, so it's no surprise for them to go deep. And right off the bat, Jake Shields decides to ring in the new year on the left side of Jon Fitch's face.
Oh, liver kick.
You know, when I was at the meet and greet earlier today, every fan I asked, I said, what are you most excited for? And they said, this fight. I think it's going to be a real barn burner.
And, Boss, this has the potential of being an absolute tactical war because both these men have excellent defense, but also strong Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And Jake Shields, the American Jiu-Jitsu, is unbelievable.
You know, it is, you can't make mistakes. And that's why both these guys are such a high level. You know, they make one mistake and, you know, you mess up. You're going to get caught. So that's why it's going to be like a chess game.
5 5-minute rounds for the welterweight belt.
I think, though, Fitch, best bet is now simply get up. Guard is open, get up, use your striking on the feet. Don't even go there. Why would you be there with somebody whose ground game is so good?
Very comfortable there. Shields is very comfortable on the
Jake
ground.
Shields always fishing for something. Jon Fitch feeling pretty comfortable about his position right now. But, Boss, we've talked about this before with other fighters. Once you put a limb out there, once you stick literally your neck out there, there's a good chance it's not coming back.
Yep. A slap on a guillotine or a rear naked choke, whatever position you are in.
Fitch looking for an opening. Jake Shields, here we go.
Yep.
Close guard, pulls the head in close. And with Jake Shields, Kayla, you've seen him fight enough. He's never just doing something just because he can do it. It's setting up or possibly setting up for another move.
Absolutely. Very tactical fighter, very smart fighter. And when you have 2 fighters like this in the cage, you cannot make a mistake. I mean, I know we've said that a lot already, but really, every little detail counts.
You know, and it's great what Fitch is doing. He's pushing his head up against the fence, so it makes it very hard for him to go for a triangle or an armbar because he can't bring his legs up. He will crunch himself, so to say. So if Fitch can keep him there, yeah, he can keep doing the game plan. What he's doing right now is just raining down punches, scoring points.
A little bit of combat chess right now as Jake Shields is trying to figure out his next move. Jon Fitch continuing to put the pressure on. Fitch with those black trunks, but you see Shields pulling the head down. Got 1 foot in.
Maybe he's going to try to get a sweep there, like with a half butterfly sweep, but it's going to be hard. You know, Fitch being the wrestler that he is. Got to watch out with his hand, though.
For the guillotine.
Yep.
Nothing there, though.
John Fitch with a very strong wrestling background, Purdue, Fort Wayne, Indiana, now with American Kickboxing Academy, training in Las Vegas, Nevada.
We're coming up. There we go.
He can do the gilded, but he doesn't have the leg caught, so it's going to be hard to pull off. Fitch can roll out.
Not enough crank on that neck at this point, but Jake Shields is going to give it a little bit of a go just to let John know that that's in the arsenal. This is going to be a bit of a contrast, Kayla and Boss, of what we just saw with Marlon Moraes. High explosive, fast pace. This is going to be a little more, I don't say a snail's pace, but a chess match. A methodical move, yes. You'll see some great Brazilian jiu-jitsu in here, but you also see some great defense. Because anytime you fight a Jake Shields, you better know exactly where his hands and feet are at all times.
Need some power, John. We're coming up.
That's one thing as a fighter that you have to have is a great defense.
John Fitch certainly has that.
Shields hanging off to the side with his head a little bit sometimes, so then he might try to go for an elbow.
All right, who does this benefit, John Fitch or Jake Shields, Kayla?
I think Fitch. I think Shields is better on the ground, so Fitch wants to have it standing up.
Landed that left there, right away.
See how John Fitch can cut loose those hands, and if Jake Shields is patient to let this play out on the feet as we go under a minute to go here in round number one. Jake Shields, as Kayla pointed out, would love to get this back on the ground where he can do some fishing for some jiu-jitsu, but that body kick is going to be devastating. That keeps landing.
Big left hand there by Fitch. He shouldn't throw those kicks. This is the second time he throws it and he get caught. He's doing better than standing. Just break right now and move away.
Yeah, I agree with you, Boss. I think that's the right game plan.
I mean, Dan Anderson, who went also to the Olympic wrestling, and he got taken down by Shields.
Yep.
You know, you make one little tiny mistake, you'll still be taken down, even though you're a great wrestler. Just don't take the risk.
Final 15 seconds of round one. This one's scheduled for 5 in the welterweight championship division. John Fitch trying to hold on to his belt. When we return to the theater at Madison Square Garden, we'll have round 2. John Fitch, Jake Shields, WSOF NYC.
You stay down.
Warriors past and present in attendance here at Madison Square Garden. Justin Tuck, 2-time Super Bowl champion with the G-Men, New York Giants, in support of his good friend Jake Shields. As we get set for round number 2 of this title bout in the welterweight division, John Fitch in the black trunks is your champion. Todd Harris alongside Boss Rutan, 2-time Olympic gold medalist Kayla Harrison, and Joey Varner, as we wish you a very happy new year.
What a way to bring in this new year.
Absolutely. All right, I do this every time, and I know you guys don't like it. Boss, I'll start with you. Who are you giving round 1 to?
Fitch. You know, and look at this. Shield has him on the ground.
Yep.
And again, grab the leg.
You know, Jake started off with a really strong head kick that threw me for a loop, but I do think Fitch won that last round.
So the experts saying that John Fitch winning round 1. Remember, this one's scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. As John Fitch trying to build on the momentum he possibly picked up in round 1. What does Jake Shields do now differently round 2? For more in his corner, we check in now with Joey Varner.
All right, thanks, Todd. Coach Gilbert Melendez said he wants to see more kicks from his fighter, Jake Shields. He says the low kicks there, the body kicks there as well. He also wants to see him start shooting for those double legs and transition into the single leg. They feel if he does that, they'll have success.
Bottom line, he wants to get John Fitch to the ground, which he does, in somewhat of a slow motion takedown for Jake Shields.
Can he keep him down, though? That's the thing here.
So grab the shorts, grab the leg. There you go.
Yes, both guys catching their breath, but also feeling where the pressure is coming from, thinking about what their opponent's going to try to do.
Grab the leg, not the shorts. There you go.
Looks like Shields is trying to trap that right leg of John Fitch. John sensing something, so he postures up against the cage and goes right back to his back.
He needs to find a way to get back up, which he's working right on. Needs to use the fence. Nice work.
Wow.
Shields pushing him away from the fence. He can't walk up. Yeah, this is crazy.
So, boss, now John Fitch has got to worry about Jake Shields posturing up, obviously, and raining down some heavy leather.
Yeah, but Shields is not a striker.
Right.
He doesn't have a great power in his strikes. His bread and butter is really the ground game. So he will look for submissions, and all these little taps that he gives here are all setup shots.
It's a tough call for a fighter. Do you want to stay there and take the shots, or are you going to go to give him your back? I mean, I wouldn't give Shields my back.
Yep.
So Jake Shields looking for something, constantly fishing for a little jiu-jitsu, possibly to end this fight in a submission. You hear the corner of John Fitch saying rock back and forth. As Kayla pointed out, do not give up the back.
Good advice, coaches.
Yeah.
It works, and he's doing it. Aye, aye.
Oh,
and Fitch, Shields has a really great rear naked choke from here that doesn't go underneath the jaw if he can get his back, because Fitch knows this.
But look at John Fitch controlling that left wrist of Jake Shields. So really it's that one free hand, and you can see he's not really hitting him too hard.
I think he's looking.
Go grab the cage. There you go.
As you can hear from the crowd.
And there's nothing wrong with not being a striker, boss, and that's what's mixed martial arts. His bread and butter, as you said, is the jiu-jitsu game. He is looking for a stoppage.
Listen, he fought great strikers, and he beat them by submission.
Yep. So there's nothing you can say about it, yeah.
It's a great thing about this sport.
Kayla, the frustration factor, if you had opponents in your 2 runs at the gold medal where you've had opponents that's like, come on, work with me here, or they just want to frustrate you, like slow it down, ugly up the fight.
Oh yeah, they love to ugly it up, but that's the key to being a good fighter and a good champion, is being able to remain calm in those situations.
Under a minute to go here, round number 2 of 5. We said at the start of this one, it might not be as a sizzling, explosive fight as what we saw as we came on the air with Marlon Moraes and Jose Naldo Silva, but these guys both very tactical, very methodical, and Jake Shields is happy to let this thing go at a snail's pace, and then at the right moment, spring a little jiu-jitsu on him.
This is not a good position for Fitch.
And John Fitch told Joey Varner, he said, you know, he likes necks, he likes legs. He's going to try to grab one of those. I've got to stay away. So that being said, I'd be interested to see during the next round, if we go to round 3, what John Fitch's corner says. If they say, do not go to the mat with this guy anymore.
Don't kick. Simply don't kick.
Work that. Let's go.
Every time they brought him in trouble.
Final 10 seconds, there you see it. Jake Shields was fishing for something, and John Fitch took a slight breather, but he's going to run out of clock, and we will see a 3rd round here from Madison Square Garden. Just adding to the list of legends who have been in Madison Square Garden, Ray Sefo, Randy Couture, our own Kayla Harrison, and of course, Chuck Liddell in the house. Kayla, that's a pretty good little posse you're running with there.
Yeah, I like to run with the tough guys.
The 4 amigos. Can you imagine bumping into those 4 on the street and say, hey, watch where you're going?
Who do you think's the toughest?
No comment.
Yeah.
As we bring you the 3rd round of 5 in this welterweight bout between John Fitch in the black trunks and Jake Shield, the challenger, in the blue trunks. Slow 2nd round there, and this 3rd round as we see John Fitch trying to avoid the takedown. He wants to keep this on his feet where his striking is much better.
He needs to turn away from the cage. That's it, and move away now. And now get out of there. And Shields is doing good. He's relentless. He's got him tied up already.
It's amazing to me, though, excuse me, Kayla, it's amazing to me how many fighters come in and they know what Jake Shields wants to do, except everyone still falls into the trap. It's like, don't let Michael Jordan hold the ball. Just don't let him hold the ball. And people
but
still let him
that's a
hold the ball.
lot easier said than done, believe me.
There's a guillotine attempt.
Once again.
But it's very hard to pull off there. He doesn't have his legs around it, so Fitch can always jump to the side.
I think this is a very smart game by Jake Shields. I think he started off the fight a little bit slow. He's gotten into his groove, and now he's really in every winning position right now.
3:40 to go in round number 3. For more on the Fitch corner and their strategy, we check in once again with Joey Varner.
All right, Todd. Well, John Fitch's coaches were adamant. They told him, you gave away last round. We can't have you doing that anymore. First thing they want him to do is work from that southpaw stance. Second, they feel like he's the faster of the fighter, so use his speed, not his power.
Interesting take there. Thank you, Joey. So John Fitch possibly getting reprimanded by his corner for maybe giving away that second round. Boss, it was slow. We knew this would possibly happen with the jiu-jitsu and what Jake Shields wants to do. John Fitch, it seems simple. His corner telling him, don't go to the ground, as you said, don't kick.
That's it. Don't go to where you to the area where your opponent is the strongest.
Yep.
Try
you
to
gotta fight
avoid
to
at all
your
costs.
strengths. You gotta fight to your strengths. I definitely gave that last round to Shields, so I think it's 1-1 right now.
5 5-minute rounds for the belt in the welterweight division. John Fitch has it. Jake Shields wants it.
I wouldn't even be here, out there in the clinch.
Keep it in the center.
And constantly move away. You're the better striker. Maybe the first kick got in his head.
Maybe.
You know,
Maybe.
that happens sometimes.
You know, you never know what's going on inside a fight. We think we know, but we have no idea. He could have been rocked by that very first kick.
Holding on for dear life is John Fitch, and he finds himself exactly where his corner didn't want him to be.
And you see how heavy Shields is on him the whole time. His whole body weight was on him. Constant pressure on the core. Let the core muscles work. Let him fill up in lactic acid. You start pushing the lungs back, interrupting the breathing pattern, getting more and more tired. You know, it's all,
Do some of this, gentlemen. Here we go.
all in the game.
Referee warning, want to see action. Everyone likes a good methodical, tactical fight, but it's got to be action here in the World Series of Fighting, and they pick up the pace just a little bit. Jake Shields trying to posture up, and John Fitch is just happy to put a body lock on him.
It's like a pretzel hold or something.
Exactly.
Look at that.
Is that the official name of that move?
Boss just named it.
He just made it up. I've never seen it.
I like it.
The boss had one of those pretzels on the street the other day, and he said, you know what, that's a move right there.
There's no better pretzels than New York City pretzels.
I want to remind you that coming up next, it is the main event, and I promise you the pace will be extremely different with Justin Gaethje and Luis Firmino.
Yes.
Both of them looking to knock each other's head off into 2017.
That's not going to be a methodical fight.
No.
I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
I've never seen a boring fight with Gaethje.
No, he goes out with a vengeance, and I think yesterday things got a little bit heated at the weigh-ins, so we should see some fireworks.
Luis Firmino taking the fight on less than notice. So look at this.
Yeah, but he's
here's your
already
pretzel,
thinking about
boss.
That's a pretzel.
Yeah, I was looking for a knee bar, but he can't wheel it in now.
Oddly reminiscent of a game they used to play in the 70s called Twister.
Yeah.
Kids were around back then.
70s.
Under 30 seconds to go here. Round number 3. This one's scheduled for 5 with a welterweight belt on the line. John Fitch happy just to play. I would say play possum, boss, but he is just basically uglying this thing up for Jake Shields, not giving him the grab. And the crowd in the Garden, this is not what they want to see. They want to see something a little quicker, a little faster. We'll see if round 4 can deliver when we return to New York.
We're going to have a busier ground game coming up this time.
Capacity crowd on hand here inside Madison Square Garden as we welcome you to the theater and say Happy New Year as we ring out 2016 and bring in 2017 in this welterweight division showdown between John Fitch, the champion, and Jake Shields, the challenger. As we approach now round number 4.
The referee, Todd Harrison, walked to both fighters and said, once it goes to the ground, I need more action, otherwise I'm going to put you back up immediately.
Todd Anderson doesn't want to get booed by this crowd. They're expecting big shows. And here's where John Fitch would probably prefer this fight to stay, as Jake Shields snaps that one off.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a kick. You should counter. You can take it. You know, give her left straight.
Stop! Time! Stand right there.
Yeah, the tape. I saw that already.
On the
Doctor,
wrist.
I need a set of scissors quickly.
And while we have a break in the action, why don't we check in with Joey Varner and see what he learned in that break.
All right, Todd. In the corner of Jake Shields, Gilbert Melendez, and Nate Diaz, they were trying to boost the confidence of Shields. They told him, you're better than him, you're in better shape, but you got to break him if you want to beat him.
Yeah, interesting to see what happens. And talk about the fighters that are on hand to support other fighters. You've got Chuck Liddell here. You've got Kayla Harrison sitting cage side. Randy Couture, Justin Tuck, Boss Rutan,
Todd Harris.
That's why they were booing.
Ray
Sefo. It's everyone.
See, this is what he needs to do. And
there you go.
Just sprawl, get back up.
Yep. Don't
Walk
even mess
away.
around.
Just walk away.
Jake Shields goes for that single, and John Fitch this time does pop back to his feet.
Don't even look.
He can hear you, boss.
Yeah. I think his corner gave him that same advice. You see, those kicks, you can block right away, counter with the left straight. I mean, they don't have any real power on them. It's not going to do anything to you. And if you counter it with a big left straight, then he's not going to throw it anymore because he's going to be afraid of it. So he's shutting down his game plan as well. Now
I'm
he's
glad
back
you're here. I'm learning so much right now.
Yeah.
This is all going to be useful for my career. Thank you.
Oh, man, I'm looking forward to that.
Keep it going.
Kayla, your first fight, we'll put Boss cage side. He'll just talk you through the whole thing.
That'd be great.
Talk you through the whole thing. Round 4 of 5. John Fitch once again in a very familiar position with Jake Shields back up against the cage. Shields constantly looking for something to end this fight in a possible submission. Some type of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, some type of hold where he can end John Fitch's reign as the welterweight champion.
Looking for a Kimura. But he need a leg. He need to wrap the legs. Yeah, now we can try.
It's interesting, but I think Shields is going to have to do more than just be able to pull a strong guard to take that belt from Fitch.
And it's an open guard. So get out. Okay, now he locks it. But I mean, it's open at many times. Just stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up.
Boss, not saying that the officials are predetermined what they're going to do, but if you're going to take someone's belt away, you can't come into Madison Square Garden and be close.
No.
You've got to definitively take that belt away.
That's it.
My coach always says, never leave it to the judges.
Yeah. Boss says that all the time.
Yeah, I don't like it either, you know, and especially if you're in a different country.
Absolutely. I know that firsthand.
Fortunately, these two Americans doing battle with Fitch in the black trunks, applying a little jiu-jitsu to the neck of Jake Shields.
And still in the clinch.
Yep. See, right there, why go down to the ground with Jake Shields when you have to deal with this whole spaghetti situation?
I have no clue. And now he sets him up, maybe himself up for a leg lock or something. If he makes a wrong mistake right now, if he pulls that, what is it, his right foot out, he's going to have to watch out for the inverted heel hook. Shields going to pull the knee to the right side. Now he's going to see there the heel hook is going to come. He's got to watch out now. It's good defense, what he's doing right now. And actually, John Fitch, not now, but if he untangles, if Shields untangles that knee right there, John Fitch only has to push the toes down, and he's going to win. I want to fight like that. You rotate the whole lower leg. But now he's going to go for that knee bar. Fitch doesn't want to get knee barred anymore.
Fitch straightens that leg out immediately.
Done that. Been there, done that, he said.
So the fans here at Madison Square Garden, capacity crowd, enjoying that exchange much more, as you saw multiple attempts at submissions there and great defense taking place as Todd Anderson looks in and makes sure that the action continues to move as we go under 40 seconds here in the penultimate round.
Let's go, boys. So we're coming out. Break.
There you go.
That's what he said.
He doesn't want to hear the boo birds.
Yes. That's right. We don't want to hear it. Well, listen, we don't want to see it like that either. We want to see a little bit more action.
Absolutely.
Wow,
this is the
straight
moment
right.
in the match where you really got to dig deep and you got to figure out who wants it more.
John Fitch bringing with those shots, trying to bring enough pressure to drop Jake Shields and end this fight. But it looks as we're going to go to a 5th and final round. John Fitch, does he hold on to his belt? We'll find out when we return.
You ready?
It's the 5th and final round. John Fitch, Jake Shields, welterweight belt on the line after 4 rounds of interesting fighting at a very patient pace. They now come down to the 5th and final, and Kayla and Boss, this will be a great time for John Fitch to release those hounds, known as his fists, and start doing some damage and stay off the canvas.
It looks like he's doing it right now, but you know, I have the feeling that once it goes to the fence, he's going to clinch again. He should be here the whole time what he's doing right now. It's working.
This is it. Control the cage, control the space. Don't let that happen. get up, walk away.
Great sprawl. Yeah, look at that sprawl.
Just walk away. Walk it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Sound advice from Kayla Harrison. Interesting, though, Jake Shields will come forward. He will engage on the boxing, but he's just kind of walking John Fitch down, boss, to get close enough possibly to shoot and get another takedown.
That's the thing. You know, he shuts the striking down for Fitch because he's afraid to be taken down.
Yep.
Look, and even this is working. Fitch should, again, step up. Walk away.
Putting his hand out there and letting Jake Shields get his hands on your wrist, to me, it's like, oh, I saw a cobra go down this hole. I think I'll put my hand down there and see if I can get it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
So the battle of wills continues near the center of the Decagon here at World Series of Fighting NYC as we get set to ring in 2017 as we check in Joey Varner and see what he found during the break.
All right, Todd, in the corner of John Fitch, his coach, Bob Cook, was very happy with his performance. He said more speed, more combinations, and they want to see him keep switching his stance from orthodox to southpaw to disrupt the rhythm of Jake Shields.
Yeah, Joey pointed that out to me at the start of round number 1. John Fitch came out boxing a little southpaw and then changing his stance up, trying to throw off Jake Shields possibly on the way he's going to attack those legs.
And he's doing it right now, as you just said. You know, he's switching stance.
And again, another takedown. Jake Shields not having the success, Kayla, that he had in his takedowns in rounds 1 and 2.
Yeah, well, we're in round 5, and I can tell you from experience, when you get to this part of the match, when you get to the bitter end, there's not much left in the tank if you've been doing your job right.
Not going to question the stamina of either of these fighters. Anyone that can go 5 rounds. And again, you got to be worried in the north and south position is John Fitch is just like, I got to get out of this thing. I got to get out of this.
This heel hook is easy to escape.
Shields is really doing a great job of being very offensive from pretty much every position. Even in standing, you know, he's not hesitating. He's just being smart.
Keep the wrist. Keep that wrist. Keep that wrist. Up. Let that thing go.
He wants to go for that heel hook, but it's a...
He's got it locked up pretty good.
It's locked up. He's got to kick it out. He's got to put his other foot. Where's Fitch's other foot? You can't see it from him, but he's got to kick his butt.
Right there,
So that's it, yeah.
He heard Boss Rutten, and that might have been one of the last great attempts for Jake Shields as he had that leg locked out, but John Fitch, with 36 professional fights, has been there a time or two, and he knew Boss to straighten the leg out and just push him off.
That's it. Get up.
Great defense by Fitch.
Final 90 seconds. Kayla, if you're Jake Shields, what are you going to do here? What do you try to do?
Leg locked up.
Yeah, I think I'd be doing what he's doing. He's really mixing it up. He's going for arms. He's going for legs, knees, ankles, anything he can get his hands on at this point. And to me, he's being the aggressor. So it's going to be a tough one.
And Boss, if you're John Fitch and you've got 1:11 to go to hold on to your title, what are you telling your fighter?
Right now, I say turn to the, what is it, to the right, pull that leg out. Now he can't do it anymore. Pull the leg out and go to side mount.
Start running for a taxi. Just get on your horse.
It's going to be hard to find one here on New Year's Eve.
Oh, no question about that. The city is absolutely packed, and they're not all just here for WSOF NYC. As Jake Shields again starts twisting it again, and John Fitch does a great job of pushing him off.
That's why I always say, you know, bring that leg over to the other side, make it an inverted heel hook. They're way harder to escape.
Good stuff from both fighters, though.
Yeah, this would be a fantastic video on jiu-jitsu defense because John Fitch has seen pretty much everything Jake Shields could throw at him and then some, as Jake Shields looks like he may just run out of time and gas here to try to dethrone John Fitch in the final 20 seconds. Final 10. And it goes the distance. It may not have been pretty, but was it effective? Did John Fitch hold on to his belt, or did Jake Shields manage enough points to take it away? Well, both my partners say never let it go to the judges. That's what's happened, which means when we come back, we'll find out exactly how the judges scored this fight. Who is the welterweight champion at WSOF NYC? The official decision when we return to the Garden. Back inside Madison Square Garden at the conclusion of 5 rounds of welterweight fighting. For the official decision, we sent it in to Jazz Securo.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of championship fighting, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judges Torelli, Corrado, and Carolee all score the fight 49-46 for your winner by unanimous decision. And still, the World Series of Fighting welterweight champion of the world, Jon Fitch.
So 5 grueling rounds, Jon Fitch and Jake Shields. And Jon Fitch running his record to 29-7. Jake Shields drops to 31-9 as we set it inside the cage. Joey Varner.
All right, thank you very much, Todd. Jake, Jon, congratulations on the victory. This is the biggest card of the year. It's your first title defense. How sweet is this moment for you?
It's fantastic. It's a big deal for me, defending my title. I've been dealing with a lot of medical over the years. A bulging disc in my neck. I got a funny reading on my brain MRI before this fight. This was a good chance this was my last fight.
This is your last fight. So are you with this belt, winning this belt? Are you announcing that you're planning on retiring?
I have to talk to some doctors and some neurologists and people, but I've been dealing with a lot of medical stuff lately, and it's a good chance that this is my last fight.
Wow. Well, you've had an amazing career, and there's no better way to end it than winning the belt. But let's talk about the fight a little bit. You did a good job of stuffing the takedowns of Jake Shields, but it seems like on the feet, you really frustrated him by switching from orthodox to southpaw. Was that part of your strategy coming into this fight?
Yeah, we wanted to do, we switched southpaw. One kick, he's an amazing coach. All of his guys switched and fight both sides. So I was like, man, if all these guys can do this so well, I'm going to try it. And I know I've worked with Jake a long time. I know where his strengths are on his feet. And if I could keep cutting the angle on that side, I could you know, kind of expose him a little bit. Getting on this mat, though, is a little bit slippery. So I didn't quite have the in and out that I wanted to. And then once you get into a heavy grappling back and forth with Jake, you kind of get drained. So it slowed everything down a little bit. That's what happens when you put 2 top-level grapplers together.
Well, Jon, you've had an amazing career. You fought the best of the best that spanned over a decade. If this is your last fight and you do retire, what's next for you?
I don't know. Right now I want to spend some time with my family and just kind of figure things out. I gotta talk to the doctors first. It might not be the end, but I'm gonna at least have to take some time off.
Well, thanks for the interview, and thank you for an amazing career.
Thank you.
So Jon Fitch and possibly his final fight, and if it is, what a way to go out in Madison Square Garden. Joey now speaking with Jake Shields, the challenger.
Jake, it was a tough and grueling fight. Looking back on it now, what went wrong? What could have you done differently?
I mean, first off, I want to say hats off to Jon. You know, had a great career if he retires. He's one of the top 5 welterweights of all time. Knew it was gonna be a tough fight, but as far as me, he had a great game plan. You know, coming in southpaw, completely never saw Jon do that, so I was completely unprepared for that. It definitely threw me off a little bit, and he just did a great job stuffing my takedowns, keeping distance. He was in phenomenal shape. You know, it was his night tonight.
You've also not stepped in the cage for a year and a half. That's a long time not to compete. Do you think that ring rust played any part of the loss tonight?
I mean, I don't want to make any excuses. It was Jon's fight tonight. I think me and him are one of those guys that, you know, if you fight again, we don't know how it's going to go. I think we'll have we're one of those guys that are probably going to go back and forth, in my opinion. So if he doesn't retire, maybe we'll fight again. But he was just better tonight.
Congratulations. Thank you very much, Jake.
Thank you.
Jake Shields, Jon Fitch putting on a show in the welterweight division. Jon Fitch retains his belt, but will his career be over? We'll have to follow that story as it develops. Coming up, it's the main event of the night. Champion Justin Gaethje puts his lightweight belt on the line against Brazil's Luis Firmino. We'll have it for you live on NBC when we return.
Justin Gaethje, he's never lost. Oh, he's down. Gaethje shuts it
down.
This is how you sell out an arena. He is still the champion. That belt stays around his waist.
As we welcome you back to New York City on New Year's Eve as we ring out 2016 and ring in 2017. Glad to have you with us here live on NBC. Of course, I'm with MMA royalty, the great Renzo Gracie and Bas Rutten. We have now reached the main event. Justin Gaethje putting his perfect record of 16-0 on the line against Luis Firmino, who took this fight on less than a month's notice. But anytime you fight Gaethje, I don't know if you need a month or a year to prepare for this guy, but it's going to be tough sledding.
Relentless heart and stamina. Once you put that in a Division I wrestler with unbelievable power in his hands, great knees and low kicks, that's a problem. You're going to face the guy who throws everything at you, including the kitchen sink. This guy is unbelievable. This fight will not be boring, 100% guaranteed.
Justin Gaethje has one speed. It's constantly coming forward. He has the striking, he has the wrestling background, and he has the belt as the lightweight champion of the World Series of Fighting. But you know a thing or two about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Luis Firmino. The guy is built like a rock. He took the fight, which means he thinks, I can get this done.
Definitely, and it's not necessarily a month or a year to train for someone like Gaethje. He needs a lifetime, and Firmino does have that. You know, and I've seen him battling, and if there's someone who can do it, especially short notice, it's Luis Firmino.
Luis Firmino, very tough. He has not been knocked out. So Justin Gaethje, you know Gaethje's pride. He's going to try to knock him out. Does he get frustrated? Is that the game plan for Firmino? To get him frustrated, drag him deep into the rounds and get him to the ground?
If I was in his corner, that was my strategy. It was to frustrate him the maximum to be able to make him open up, to be able to win with a submission.
All right, we will see what happens. Justin Gaethje is the defending champion in the lightweight division. He looks to keep his title and keep his perfect record. Luis Firmino looks to end it on New Year's Eve. We'll have it next. This presentation of WSOF NYC is being brought to you by Tequila Avion, voted world's best tasting tequila. By Kawasaki. Kawasaki, the ones who get it done. Kawasaki Strong. And by Auto Shopper, your new and used car showroom. We have reached the main event of the night for WSOF NYC. In the lightweight division, the tail of the tape looks like this with the champion Justin Gaethje and Luis Firmino. Gaethje's 28 years of age, weighed in at 154.8 pounds. His reach 71 inches, just a 1-inch advantage on Luis Firmino's. And 34-year-old Firmino comes all the way from João Pessoa, Brazil, to take on the champion. Right now we set it inside the cage at Jazz Securo.
New York City, it is time for your main event of the night for the World Series of Fighting Lightweight Championship of the World. Please welcome your challenger, Luis Firmino.
The 34-year-old from João Pessoa, Brazil, now training with the Black Zillions. An impressive record of 19-7. Those 7 submissions, Renzo Gracie, is what Justin Gaethje's probably going to have to keep his eye on.
Yeah, he can relax. He's extremely efficient in finishing, submitting people.
As we mentioned, he took this fight on short notice. João Ceferino was supposed to fight Gaethje, but was injured. Firmino happy to step up on the biggest stage in New York City, Madison Square Garden, and a shot at the title. Boss, it's a short training camp, which is a good and a bad thing. Obviously, preparing for Gaethje, you could need months and months to get ready, but maybe the distractions are a few less, and he just goes in there and says, hard as I can go for 3 weeks.
You know he can't lose. You know there's no pressure on him. If he loses, say, hey, I didn't have a full training camp. And most of the time, fighters like that are very dangerous. And maybe Gaethje thinks, hey, whatever, I'm training 1 mile high. He only trained for 3 weeks. You know, I'm going to get this guy. He gets a little bit too confident, you know, and that mixed together, that could be a problem.
And Jazz Securo now has the introduction for the reigning champion.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the Decagon, please welcome the World Series of Fighting Lightweight Champion of the World, Justin Gaethje.
Oh boy.
So excited.
Just 28 years of age from Team Grudge. He certainly is a highlight reel once he steps inside.
28 years old. That's when I started my mixed martial arts career. And he's already like full in there.
Pretty mild-mannered, except during the weigh-ins and pre-interviews and media. He certainly had a lot to say to Luis Firmino, who just basically tried to not pay attention, but we saw it firsthand. Justin just needling him like a big brother needling his little brother. Just wouldn't let it go.
Yeah. Getting inside the head. That's what you want to do. Wow.
And Dodge is definitely a people's favorite. You know, there's nobody who fights like he does, you know. He brings intensity to his matches every single time.
Always exciting.
He has been waiting for a long time for this fight. Again, he was scheduled to fight back at WSOF 33 in October. His opponent was injured, so he has been prepping for months and months. We're set to get underway with the official introductions. Here is Jazz Sakura once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? This is your main event of the night. For a sold-out crowd at Madison Square Garden and the millions watching on NBC. Are you ready? It's about to go down. Somebody make some noise! Your main event is brought to you by Alienware, the ultimate gaming experience. We are scheduled for 5 rounds for the World Series of Fighting Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, your challenger. 19 victories, 7 defeats, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 154 1/2 pounds, fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida by way of João Pessoa, Brazil. Introducing Luis Boscape Firmino. And now, his opponent fighting out of the red corner of the Decagon. His record is perfect with 16 victories, no defeats, and 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing 155 pounds, fighting out of Arvado, Colorado by way of Safford, Arizona. He is the undefeated, undisputed, reigning, defending World Series of Fighting lightweight champion of the world, Justin the Highlight Gaethje. Your referee is Big Dan Miragliotta.
Ladies and gentlemen. All right, gentlemen, been through the rules in the locker room. I want you to obey my commands at all times. I want you to protect yourselves at all times. You want to touch gloves for luck, do it now? Okay, good luck.
Okay. Big Dan may be the best guy to have in between these two, as Justin Gaethje is all business. Firmino wants none of that, as we give you a quick look at the rules of the World Series of Fighting. Of course, you cannot kick the head of a grounded opponent. 10-point must system is in effect, and it's based on aggression and, of course, cage control. We are set to go. This one scheduled for 5 in the lightweight division. How about this start? Bosch, you called it. This is a little bit different than we saw moments ago, and Firmino trying to put his stamp on the champ right off the bat.
That's it. He's got his leg locked. You know, this is not what Gaethje wants to be. I would not do it. I would simply stand back up.
He was trying to do a half-guard sweep, brilliantly done, and Gaethje was able to stop him. That's how amazing the wrestling level and the control level this kid has.
Renzo was
in perfect position for a sweep, and he couldn't do it.
Renzo, was that a little bit like running into the tiger's den? You just maybe want to just walk in a little quieter?
Yeah, it's like you see a fight like this, when you like it and you love it, you wanna just watch. It's brilliant how well they move and how well they prevent each other from succeeding on their moves.
Luis Firmino, the challenger, in the blue trunks. Justin Gaethje in the yellow trunks, the champion. Dan Miragliotta getting the warning early here that he wants to see action and pace. I don't think that's something he'll have to remind him of.
And he's again trying the sweep from the half guard. You see with the hand between his legs, trying to bring his hip over his so he can turn his opponent. But Dutch is being very efficient and positioning himself. And even though Dan thought there was nothing happening there, was a lot of action happening there on that moment.
Get ready for fists and kicks and a big overhand from Gaethje as Firmino's there to answer. Firmino is not going to back down, which may be to his demise, but he is going to stand toe-to-toe with Gaethje. Takes a sharp kick there, and both fighters drop to the knees.
Oh, beautiful counter from Firmino.
Yeah, he's doing great. He connected a bunch of times already.
Oh, look at this. Well, Justin Gaethje did tell Joey Varner, I'm going to do me. No strategy, just come in there and fight. And that is beautiful how quick he gets out.
It's amazing how fast he moves.
Crazy,
and how precise.
Some water, please.
Mouthpiece comes out, and Dan Miragliotta wisely asks for some water to rinse it off.
Pour some water on that. Do me a favor. Oh, come here.
Oh, Justin.
He wanted to start talking to him.
Ready? Timekeeper, ready for the time? Let's go, fight, Tommy.
So the kid from Safford, Arizona barely wants the mouthpiece washed off. He said, put it in and let's get back to work. A little bit of blood coming off the forehead of Luis Firmino. Wow. Boys, I'll tell you what. And it's like a car wreck in between those two.
Definitely, this fight is not going 5 rounds.
No.
Both fighters. Again. Boss, you like to see this early if you're a coach. Both fighters employing the boss root combination. Wow, Firmino connecting with the left.
Firmino doing beautiful counters, and again, a nice takedown. Which very efficient in getting up and preventing him from keeping him on the floor.
Get your fingers out of the cage.
Justin Gaethje, All-American wrestler from University of Northern Colorado, but he loves to strike. Don't ever just call him a wrestler, as Firmino goes for the full mount. I don't know in a standing position do you mount someone like Gaethje because he loves those slams.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to be very careful because if he throws you forward and you hit it with your shoulder, for sure it's a broken shoulder right there. The fight is over. Or if you land in your head, you're going to be knocked out. And normally when you mount someone's back, your head is always higher than your opponent. So there's a danger of you being knocked out if he dives forward.
I think Gaethje's just waiting there for the referee to stop to break it up.
And he got the fullback now, look.
Let's see what Gaethje does with this.
Don't grab that fence. Don't grab that fence again. I'll take a point away. You're not going to get another warning. I'll take a point away. Do not grab that fence.
Dan Miragliotta warning Gaethje, who was holding on to the fence as Firmino was trying to drag him to the ground.
And he was doing very efficiently. Yeah. He had to grab the fence, otherwise he would be on the floor. Again, look, has both hooks in. He has a fullback. Now you got to be careful with the slam.
What's the play here, Renzo? Do you just fall backwards?
Yeah, his cornermans are saying for him to stay on top. Make sure you don't lose the position, you stay on top.
Under a minute to go here in round number 1. This one's scheduled for 5 in the lightweight division as Justin Gaethje puts his belt on the line.
It's a very tough situation to finish because your body keeps sliding down and you're not able to, especially with the gloves, to slide your hand under his chin to be able to choke.
Firmino weighs in around 155, but he's walking around probably closer to 165 today. So Justin Gaethje is hauling around a 165-pound Brazilian backpack right now and trying to figure out what to do with it. Final 10. And Gaethje looking to end the first round with fireworks. And it ends the way it started. Oh my!
You gave him 5 seconds.
Here's how it got underway, and here's how it ends round 1. Gaethje going airborne. Round 2 when we return. Back in Madison Square Garden, and if you missed the opening round, here's what you missed. This is how it started, but maybe more impressively, this is how it ended. And I'm still trying to find some MMA historians to tell me what exactly that move is called.
It's a wheel kick. A rolling wheel kick to the head to Kyokushin to do it.
Wow, look at that. The mouthpiece comes out again. So Firmino landing some heavy leather, and for the second time in the fight, Gaethje's mouthpiece hits the deck.
That's how brilliant this fight is. Both are amazing fighters. Did you see this reversal? After Firmino took him down, he reversed it, reaching for inside his thigh. It was beautiful.
Gaethje picks the mouthpiece off the deck and puts it right into his mouth. Tough kid from Safford, Arizona. And Firmino, sensing that Gaethje stole some of the momentum at the end of round number 1, he comes out aggressive in round 2.
You see, I was supposed to have a vacation in an island somewhere in the Pacific. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I'm here with you guys watching this fight from so close.
Isn't this your island, Renzo? Manhattan? Oh, wow.
Wow.
Gaethje misses, and Luis Firmino gets a combination.
He keeps landing.
Everything is landing that Firmino is throwing. Gaethje should start giving low kicks. I think that should be his game plan. I mean, if Wheel kicked him in the head, he didn't even flinch.
Justin Gaethje, as we've seen him do so many times before, Renzo and Boss throwing caution to the wind, but Firmino is right there to answer if he misses.
And Gaethje, for the first time, has his hands full. This is serious competition.
This is a guy who fought all over the world.
Yeah, I had opportunity to see him fighting in Japan many times. He's not a smart man. He's a champion material for sure.
Luis Firmino is just now teeing off and showing his striking skill.
Wow,
and a flying knee finds the mark.
Beautiful flying knee.
Gaethje seems a little bit mystified right now of what is happening because he's usually the one that's pushing the pace. And it's Firmino now walking him down and throwing combinations. Whoa! Takedown attempt coming from Firmino. Gaethje will have none out of it as we check in with Joey Varner.
Todd, Coach Trevor Whitman telling his fighter, Justin, you're getting overzealous out there. Slow things down. You are the best in the world when you break your opponents. Now go out there and break them.
Next time he comes out, you lose a point.
For the third time, Gaethje's mouthpiece comes out.
He has...
Yeah, Dan Murgaletta's going to take a point away if it comes out
What
again.
a beautiful right hand. Gaethje just threw it.
There's no head movement, nothing whatsoever. Gaethje stands right on the spot, and he gets hit all the time. Firmino's connecting with every single shot.
It's unbelievable. He uses very efficiently the counters. You know?
Justin Gaethje has been in some serious scraps before in his years at 16-0, but this one, Renzo, this is trouble because Firmino's going nowhere.
Yes, and he's right at his face, moving forward the whole time. We've never seen this before, I guess.
No one stands toe-to-toe with him.
Gaethje like this. Yes.
Not right in his face.
It's unbelievable.
Boss, we've seen guys get in, get out. Look at this. He's connecting on all these strikes.
Beautiful counter, beautiful counter. It's back and forward. It could go either way. It's an amazing fight.
Two redwoods in the forest, and which one's going to fall first?
The game plan, and he does it right back at him. Low kicks.
Luis Firmino has got some great coaching because in this round, he has been dominant, Renzo.
Yeah, and you have to understand one thing. As I hear his coach screaming to him in Portuguese, he reacts immediately with the command of his coaches. You know, that's the beauty of having the right coach on your corner, pushing you forward.
This is not a case, Boss, of Justin Gaethje doing rope-a-dopes. He just has no answer for the placement and striking of Firmino right now.
He found his competition. It's amazing.
He's gonna have to realize after this fight, he learned a lot. He can never throw punches and stay there. He needs to move.
Definitely.
In and out, in and out.
You're coming to the distance, you gotta get out of there.
Under 40 seconds to go, gentlemen, as you look at the eyes, though, of Luis Firmino, very puffy on that right eye. A lot of swelling starting to set in. Both men look like they've already been through 5 rounds, and this is just round 2.
He's just tagging along. Everything he throws, you see, it all connects. Eventually, this fighting style is going to be very bad for Gaethje.
Definitely.
He cannot take that punishment. He should not do this.
Final 10 seconds here of round number 2. We'll see if Gaethje ends with a flurry.
Oh, that was a body shot.
Back in New York City, WSOF NYC.
right,
Luis
go,
Firmino
let's
on
go
the left
fight.
in the blue trunks, the challenger, the champion Justin Gaethje on the right in the yellow. And that second round clearly, gentlemen, has got to go in the column of Luis Firmino.
I think so too. I mean, he connected with everything.
He is finding a way to get to the face of Justin Gaethje, and it is not just a love tap, boss. These are heavy, heavy punches.
But Gaethje finally started moving his head. Look at that.
I mean, he's just... A lot of attention being paid to the right eye of Luis Firmino. It is very swollen, as Justin Gaethje has been targeting that. Referee Dan Murgliata taking a look at it as well.
Yeah, I think Gaethje's corner told his mouthpiece fell out again.
His mouth guard is down again. I'm gonna give him my dentist, Dr. DeFabio, makes the best mouth guards. That you may lose your teeth, but not your mouth guard.
This time, Gaethje's not even going to try to pick it up because Dan Murgliata, referee, told him if it comes out again, he's going to take a point away.
He's trying again to go into the half guard to bring him over. Gaethje smart moving away. Look at that.
Man.
It's like flying bricks landing.
Over and over again. Look at this. He just stands there.
Guys, if Gaethje survives this, he may be the toughest fighter in all MMA. The shots he has taken from Luis Firmino.
And Firmino doesn't even flinch when he gets hit. That is the trick. Going for the legs, going for the body. Oh, that was a hard connects. Firmino doesn't flinch. Look at this. This is crazy. That is so smart.
Straight into the trying to go to the half guard.
Beautiful.
Yes. Magochi position himself well. Look.
Gaethje wants none of it.
Yes.
Justin Gaethje gets back up. Firmino gets up, but rather slowly.
And if you look, Gaethje's game completely changed now. As he went to his corner, they told him, slow down your pace. You need to pace this. Don't just think about winning only. Even though I couldn't hear, I'm 100% sure that's what I'm saying. Look at this blows.
What a combination.
He hits everything. Let a right uppercut, left to right, took another uppercut. Gaethje's landing everything now. Nice arm drag, but didn't work.
Got to remind these fighters, this thing is scheduled for 5. And they are now just in the third.
Gaethje still able to keep the pressure on his punches while Firmino lost a little bit. If you look, his punches look weaker now.
Boss, this is usually about the point in a regular fight, 3 rounds, where you say these guys look gassed. I'm going to give them a pass. But they've got 2 more to go as we go under 2 minutes here in the third round. As Gaethje once again stuffs that shot with a sprawl.
Looking for the half guard, look. And Gaethje keep moving away his hips not to let him get under. Now he was able to lock one of his legs.
I think he wants to take a break here.
Yeah. Yes, he want to breathe a little, sits down there for a little bit. His left arm is well positioned, preventing Firmino's head to go under him and bring him out of balance.
And somehow, in the last 2 minutes, Justin Gaethje's found a way to get his mouthpiece back in his mouth.
Clean, come on, clean, come on, clean. Ready, hands up, fight.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
He did that. Saw it come out, so somehow in the corner he was able to pick it up and put it in one move.
Yeah, we didn't see it. Didn't see it either.
Oh my.
Magician.
Oh, Firmino taking a big right to the side of the head. And now it's Gaethje starting to apply the pressure. Very tactical striking, finding his mark.
Oh, great counter. So smart.
And perfect timing.
Beautiful. Let it miss. Right shoot in right away.
Oh, boy. Both these guys look like at any moment they could go down, and somehow they're managing to stay on their feet.
One of the best fights I have ever seen in my whole life.
Hey, this is amazing. The way it started and the second round finish at the end of round 2. And then Justin Gaethje taking the punishment that we saw in round 2. And here he comes back in round number 3. And we will go to a fourth round here at Madison Square Garden on New Year's Eve. Which one of these men can stand the test with 2 more rounds still to come?
All right, you ready? Fight time. Back up. I want you right there, neutral corner. You got time, right? The doctor wants to take a look at you. Can I have a translator, please?
So back in Madison Square Garden in the theater, the doctor's going to come in and take a look at that right eye of Luis Firmino. Dan Mergliotti has told the corners multiple times he wants to take a look at it. Safety first.
Rocky would say, cut me, Mick.
Yeah.
That's what Rocky would say right now.
Hey, no coaching, guys.
The truth, there's nothing serious there that they should have stopped. This is just a swelling. You know,
Yeah, but if it stops his vision.
Justin Gaethje doesn't want it to end, and he's...
They said that the doctor is saying that he cannot keep going fighting. The fight is over. Look.
That is it!
And he was claiming, no, I can do this round, I can do this round. Wait.
Justin Gaethje certainly did not want to win this way.
He said he can't see out of his eyes, completely closed.
He said he couldn't see from his eyes.
Yeah. Well,
so we will not see a fourth round as the doctor has stepped in and intervened on behalf of Luis Firmino. And guys, you had a feeling because that eye started to swell in the first round. The second round, it seemed to maintain, but this third round in the break, boss, it looked like it got even worse.
You know what happens sometimes in the break, you know, because it's annoying, your nose is filled with blood, and then you blow your nose, and as soon as you do that, you pump blood in that eye, and then it balls all the way up. And that's it. And you know, if you can't see, you can't. If you can't see out of one eye, you can't see depth. So then it's going to be very hard to fight. Can't see punches coming anymore. It's not healthy. It's very dangerous.
As a fan, Renzo and Boss, it leaves you with a what could have been, because I think at this point it was either man's fight.
Definitely, definitely. You couldn't say who was winning.
It was insane.
You didn't see a lot of celebration on the face or the demeanor of Justin Gaethje as he threw his mouthpiece to the ground for the 5th time in the fight. He wanted to keep going. He wanted to win it fair and square. But I think possibly in hindsight, it's going to be the right decision for Luis Firmino.
Definitely, and for sure, we should have looked forward to a rematch.
Oh my goodness.
That's it.
This is definitely that I would like to see again, a fight with those two amazing athletes.
And then with a full training camp for Firmino.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
So Justin Gaethje will get the victory as he will go to 17-0 as the eye is being attended to for Luis Firmino.
Yeah, safety first.
And if you look at God, she's not even happy because it's like no champion really likes to win that way, you know. And but he fought a beautiful fight. You know?
I'll tell you what, though, that second round, the way Firmino came out and just dictated the pace, and his striking, boss, was on point.
It was crazy. Everything he threw double, triple, quadruple jabs. I mean, everything was landing.
Yeah. And up to this point, we couldn't know who was winning.
Yeah, it was very hard.
I was wondering how the judges were going to point this.
Yeah, me too.
I would hate to be a judge in a situation like this.
Tough one. That is a tough one. Luis Firmino pacing around inside the decagon. Back of his mind possibly thinking maybe it's the right decision. I think when he gets back and looks in the mirror, he might go, yeah, that might have been the right decision. But no fighter ever wants it to be stopped when he feels that he can still go. Well, what a show they put on for 3 rounds. Justin Gaethje and Luis Firmino with the translator at his side. The doctor steps in and says, we're going to have to shut this down. He cannot see out of his right eye. And it's not something that Luis Firmino said to him. He was holding up the fingers over there, and he said how many, and he couldn't see what he had held up, so he's not seen anything. Dan Mergliotti has to call it a fight. We will come back with the official decisions and sort this whole thing out when we return to Madison Square Garden. Back inside the theater, Madison Square Garden, New Year's Eve, WSOF NYC. Todd Harris, Boss Rutan, and Renzo Gracie. At the conclusion of the lightweight title bout between Justin Gaethje and Luis Firmino, the doctor steps in. We now go inside the cage for the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of championship action, physician Dr. Strauss has stepped in and stopped the fight. this is an official TKO. Your winner and still the World Series of Fighting Lightweight Champion of the World, Justin the Highlight Gaethje.
So Gaethje goes to 17-0, gets the victory, but you could see in the body language he was not satisfied with the way that all went down. Gaethje, just unfortunate the way it happened for him. I know he wanted to take it the full 5, and he's now standing by with Joey Varner.
Justin, congratulations on the victory. I know this fight didn't end the way you wanted to. Give us your thoughts on the stoppage.
I'm not, I guess he stopped because he couldn't see, but hats off to him. He's tough. He came to fight. I love those. I love the competition. I love entertaining people. I came out here, gave it my all. A little emotional, but I'm an emotional dude, so I'm glad I fight.
Did his performance surprise you at all? I mean, you came out here swinging for the fences, and he obliged you. He planted his feet, and he started cracking you back. Did that surprise you at all?
Yeah. I mean, it didn't surprise me. We're fighters. He better want to swing back. That's what we do. Our health's on the line in here, and we're both in here fighting for our lives, fighting for pride, glory. I'm a gladiator. He's a gladiator. That's what we do.
The first 2 rounds, you were headhunting. You guys were trading headshots. You were getting as good as you were giving. And then in that third, it seems like you made an adjustment where you started consciously really working your body. Was that some advice you got from your corner?
Yeah. That was advice I got from the beginning, but like I said, I love entertaining people. I love finishing people. That's all I'm here for. I wish I could have finished this a different way. I wish I think I was in the process of breaking him, but like I said, hats off to him. He's tough. He took my best shot. Hats off. That was fun. I love this.
Justin, you were originally scheduled to fight João Zeferino for the belt. He was injured. You called out Jason High. He declined. You just put on a Fight of the Year performance against Luis Firmino. What's next for you? Who do you want next? A rematch with Luis? You want João? Tell me what's next.
I don't care. I get paid the same no matter who I fight, so bring it on.
Well, Justin, congratulations on the performance. Happy New Year, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Happy holidays.
So Justin Gaethje decides to say, you know what, bring on anyone. And we will see what happens with him if he decides to get right back in or if he takes a little time off. At 17-0, guys, I have a feeling he's deserved and earned a little bit of time away as Luis Firmino stays inside the cage. Hopefully we'll be able to visit with him a little bit. Bring you up to speed on what's happened so far. We just saw Justin Gaethje get the win by doctor stoppage, technically going as a TKO over Luis Firmino, but that was a fantastic fight. John Fitch goes all 5 rounds with Jake Shields to retain his belt in the welterweight division, and Marlon Moraes, wow, what a start to the night on NBC as Moraes gets the win. First round tappage from Silva. We will hear from Luis Firmino and talk about things to come at the World Series of Fighting when we return to Madison Square Garden. Round number 1, and what a start, guys. They came out. We knew this was going to be Gaethje's plan, but how about Luis Firmino, boss? He came out, and how about that move to end round 1?
It was the craziest thing ever. I never expected this. I thought he was going to go be on him like white on white, so to say, which he did as well. But when he returned fire with all his strikes, connecting much more than Gaethje connected, that blew me away. Look at those shots there. Oh, that uppercut. He doesn't even flinch. He doesn't even realize he's been hit.
For the second round, it was really the Luis Firmino show as Enzo, we watched him just stand there and trade leather, and the striking was amazing before the doctor stepped in and said, enough.
Everything was connected.
Yeah.
Everything was going in. They weren't stepping 1 foot back.
Impressive performance by both fighters. Luis Firmino now standing by with Joey Varner.
Luis, that was an amazing performance. It was a back and forth battle. Of course, it ended the way, not in a very positive way. How disappointed are you with the doctor stoppage?
Yeah, of course, because I did 3 good rounds, I think I win. It's a great fight because he's a tough guy, I took this fight just 3 weeks, And I really want a rematch because I want to train hard for the next. And for sure, I will beat this guy, you know. I have game for beat this guy, you know. So I'm waiting. Hey, give me the rematch, please.
With a full training camp, do you think this is a completely different fight?
Of course, if I train you, 2 months, it's normal for you train for one fight. It's a bit different, because I trained just 3 weeks, but I did good, and I know I can beat this guy,
Did anything at all surprise you about Justin Gaethje's performance?
No, I watch a lot of fight about him, because I know I will fight with him, but he's coming like crazy, he's good, but I have game for beat him, and please, I want a rematch.
You've got a great chin. You're able to take a lot of punishment. Out of all the people you've ever faced, is Justin Gaethje the hardest hitter?
Yeah, of course, I know he's heavy, nobody knocked me out, It's my chin strong. You can punch, you can do whatever you want, I train hard, I fight, I have like 60 years, I'm a veteran, I know what I'm doing, and I want a rematch, I really want to,
Well, hopefully we'll see it soon. Thank you very much for an amazing performance.
All right, thank you guys, thank you.
34-year-old Luis Firmino out of João Pessoa, Brazil, putting on a tremendous performance tonight. He was looking for his 20th professional win. His record drops to 19-8. And I'll tell you what, I think he deserves the rematch. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, man, that would be a barn burner again. Love to see it.
What a place to be on New Year's Eve. We'll give you our final thoughts, some highlights, and let you know where we're going next when we return live here on NBC. Well, we appreciate you joining us here for WSOF NYC. Truly a momentous occasion for the World Series of Fighting as they become only the second MMA outfit to come to New York City and put on a show. Here's the results. Justin Gaethje, we just saw getting the win via doctor's stoppage. Luis Firmino saying he wants the rematch. John Fitch retains his belt. And Marlon Moraes getting the victory over Silva. Wow, what a night. Boss Root and Renzo Gracie.
Unforgettable.
We came to your town and look what happened.
I'm very glad I'm here.
Boss, did it live up to everything you thought it would be?
Yeah, it did. It really did. I mean, Branch doing a great victory. I mean, it was especially the last fight. Moraes, let's start with that. How crazy was that? He's so on point, and the great thing about him is that once he starts attacking, he constantly has his defense up. He's never unprotected. Look at him moving around, big hand, drops his opponent, who only went down once in his whole fighting career.
And for sure we're going to hear great things about his opponent, because I never seen a tough guy like him fighting Moraes.
Jose Naldo Silva goes down with the apparent leg injury. We wish him a speedy recovery, but you talk about Marlon Moraes and the bantamweights in the world. He has got to be at the top of the list of pound for pound the best in the world.
I really believe he's one of the best in the world by far. What an amazing kid, a complete fighter. He has jiu-jitsu, he has wrestling. His kicking and striking is amazing. So he gets better on every competition.
John Fitch gets the win. David Branch retains his title. Final thoughts on Justin Gaethje. Who can stop him?
A guy who's smart, he cannot take those shots. It's very dangerous. He needs to have more head movement and in and out movement. Then he's going to be much better.
Well, we appreciate you joining us here on NBC Sports as we ring in 2017. What a year it has been here in the World Series of Fighting. Make sure you join us for WSOF 35, February 25th. Coming up next, except on the West Coast, it's your local news. Tonight, beginning at 8, 7 Central, it's a toast to 2016, followed by Late Night with Seth Meyers' New Year's Eve special. And at 11:30, it's NBC New Year's Eve with Carson Daly. So for Boss Root and Renzo Gracie, Joey Varner, our entire crew here, I'm Todd Harris, saying so long from New York City. Happy New Year, everyone.